After a highly entertaining and highly unique race at the iRacing Superspeedway last week, we get back to normal somewhat at Daytona. Here for the fourth round of the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series here on ESPN. Good evening, everybody. My name is Frank Marchese. Thank you for joining me here tonight. Nate Siefker should be here, running a little late at the moment, but he will be here to help me bring you guys the action here from, as you see on screen, the World Center of Racing. But before we get into really a lot of the league, but before we get into the race, we want to bring in the man who runs the iRacing East Series, and that would be Jason Papp. A big announcement coming. You already saw one of them with this now being the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series instead of being the iRacing East Superspeedway Series. And we're going to bring Jason in now. Jason, how are you, first of all?
I'm doing good.
All right. We understand you have a major announcement. Like I said, we've already seen it's now the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series instead of the iRacing East Superspeedway Series. What is the major announcement that you guys had planned for tonight?
I do have an announcement to make. Earlier, well, I've been working with them for a couple of weeks, but earlier today we finally got the go-ahead. We have a new title sponsor for our Monday Cup Series, Rowdy Energy Drinks.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
we're
is
pretty
big.
we're pretty excited about it. They're going to be providing us with some merchandise, drinks, and whatnot to give to our winners and champions, things of that nature. So I'm pretty pumped about it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's big. How did this deal come together with you and Rowdy Energy?
I'm always looking for sponsors. I like being able to find people that are in the motorsports community, which they're in it pretty big, being founded by Kyle Busch. And I don't know, man. I just message people, and it's like asking for a raise at work. Worst they can say is no.
Exactly, and that's absolutely fantastic. So the Monday night series is going to become it's no longer the iRacing East Cup Series. It's going to be the Rowdy Energy Cup Series, I believe you said.
That is correct.
And that's absolutely huge news to be able to bring just before the start of the season. We're almost at the start of the season, starting this upcoming Monday. So that's great news. I could not be happier for you guys, and I'm sure Sam and I are. Well, I know certainly for me, um, but Sam, I'm sure is absolutely thrilled to death for you guys. We're so excited to call this season.
Heck yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to representing, their brand, and with us being on the iRacing portal, hopefully, that'll get them some exposure, and everybody wins.
Yeah, hopefully, as practice has finished, we'll get you in the car so you can qualify. But there you go. There's your big announcement tonight, Jason Papp. Good luck. Congratulations. Have a great night tonight.
All right, thank you. I'm going to try to win with my new paint scheme here.
We hope so. Good luck tonight, bud.
All right, thank you.
All right, so there is Jason Papp. We will. Oh no, he got himself. All right, so there you go. There's the big news coming out of the iRacing East Series is now going to be the Monday night at least is going to be the Rowdy Energy Cup Series, which that is incredibly fun and incredibly exciting for those guys. So happy for those guys, and I'm thrilled to death that we're going to be able to call them this season. And as we get into this qualifying session, I was in the wrong place. I was in the wrong. There we go. Here's Nate. Nate, welcome in.
Hey, welcome.
I'm
I
not.
literally just got here too, so.
Yeah, no, I had moved myself into the wrong channel there after we had just had Jason Papp. I don't know. Did you hear the big announcement that they have?
No.
We are in the. This is now the Circle B Diecast Super Speedway Series, and
I gotta have a new name to learn. Ugh.
and then on Monday night it is going to be the Rowdy Energy Cup Series. They signed on Rowdy Energy tonight.
What?
Yeah. So big
Fuck.
things happening here.
God damn! Now we need to get an energy drink on board with us. God damn it. Man, that's awesome though.
It is, and they are excited, and we're excited as well. Elijah Innes on track. We're watching Cody Smith right now as we really delve into this qualifying session here. Everything a little discombobulated at the start of this broadcast as Cody Smith goes to the top in his newly minted number 42 Alienware. I believe that's a Chevrolet. It is. Right now on track is his brother Brody Smith. He's in the Axe number 24. Currently the points leader. We will at some point get you the point standings here, as that there was a big change after the iRacing Superspeedway last week. And Nate, going from iRacing, we learned a lot from the iRacing Superspeedway. Now coming back here, back to normal, still in the Xfinity cars. We're expecting to see a little bit more of a common race from these guys tonight.
Yeah, we should go back to normal with how we've seen it before. So it should be a good experience to watch these guys tonight do their thing. Last week was just an off week. It seemed like just couldn't quite get the car back to where it needed to be. But yeah, it should be a fun race overall tonight. I think we're really looking forward to it.
Yep, certainly are. As we watch Nick Kessler cross the start-finish line to end his one and only lap. Kessler goes up to P2. As we see last week's winner, Greg McConey, coming out of turn 3 and into the tri-oval. Noticing these guys taking the apron on this qualifying run. How much does that help around here? I know you're cutting out just a little bit, at least, but how much does that help these guys as far as a qualifying time?
Any little bit you can get is very beneficial for you. So if you can save yourself about half a tenth, that's all you need to maybe get yourself up there. So that's a pretty good idea to cut the apron. It does help a little bit. It won't, it won't push you on pole. It's not one of those kind of deals, but it does help quite a bit.
As we're seeing, this is Cruz Hernandez Jr. crossing the line. As we'll now go to Jason Papp, who, there it is, that Rowdy Energy Ford Mustang, geez, the Toyota Camry, repping that new sponsor tonight and is looking great.
That is cool, though. I just learning that information, that's awesome that the company that, runs is a huge partner in NASCAR itself. That's incredible.
It certainly is, and what is not incredible, though, is that Pap's lap time gets cut off before he can cross the line. A couple of new names joining into the series here tonight, a couple of names making their debut, and we will go through those on the grid right now. For tonight's race, Cody Smith takes the pole from Nick Kessler by 4 1/1000ths of a second. Adrian Moore, Zishan Duera will make up row 2. Braden Leary and Brody Smith in row 3. Gavin Hibbs and Greg McConey will make up row 4. Row 5 going to Chris Worrell and Scott Warren. Joe Gautier and Elijah Innes will slot up in row 6. Row 7 will go to Connor Trafari and Cruz Hernandez Jr., Mark McFadden and Mark Brown make up row 8. Row 9 will go to Daniel Falkingham and Shyler Brown. Row 10 will go to James Cato and Tim Hendry, who is making his first start tonight.
Brandon Wilson, Zach Borman, and Alex Link, they make up row number 12 and 23rd and 24th, respectively. Aaron Tribble and Jeremy Boucher, they roll off 25th and 26th tonight. Shane Posey, we've seen a lot of him, and Jesse Cottrell, he rolls off 27th and 28th. GT Parquet and Clayton White roll off 29th and 30th, with William Rucker and Michael Anthony rolling off behind them in the 31st and 32nd position. Nicholas Swing and Ryan Worley, they roll off 33rd and 34th, respectively, with Gene Cato and Shane Paul. They roll off 35th and 36th, with Austin Rucker, Jason Papp behind them in the 37th and 38th position. And last on the field tonight is John Lombard in the 39th position.
So seeing a couple of names that are new to the series, such as Alex Link, Tim Hendry making their debuts tonight, Jeremy Boucher in the 26th position also making his debut in the series tonight. One guy who is coming back to the series, he will be driving the 073 tonight, will be Michael Anthony. Michael Anthony used to drive the 8 last year. As we start up on the formation laps, and again, as we had mentioned, this is kind of a getting back to normal for these guys. We've seen a lot of great pack racing here at Daytona. We've seen a lot of great pack racing in the Xfinity cars. As you had said last week, just really seemed like the outlier, and tonight we can expect to get back to normal action.
And then you just get one of those eggs that just doesn't quite hatch right, and that was that last week. So, these guys, we've seen it before. They put on an excellent show. It should be a blast tonight.
It certainly should. As you see the front row, Cody Smith and Nick Kessler making up that front row. And for Cody Smith last week, we had seen Cody Smith on lap 2 of the race, but he was down and out, really did not have any form at all, really, last week. Nice to see him get the pole here today.
See if he can convert it, though. It's one thing to get on the pole. It's another thing to finish it off at the end of the race.
And that's one of the more difficult things to do, especially on a super speedway, is to finish it off at the end. Here we go. Green flag racing, round 4 for the now Circle B Diecast Super Speedway Series is underway.
Might take you a while to get used to that, doesn't it? Oh, we got one spinning already.
That would be in the back of the field. Our timing and scoring is a little messed up, as that's Scott Warren in the 17. And Warren's going to stop it at the back. Wonder what happened to Scott Warren. We're still green up here at the front of the field, as my timing and scoring is going absolutely mental here, so I apologize.
He blew an engine.
Oh, that's not good.
He had to miss a shift.
If that would be my thought, is that's incredibly odd to just blow an engine really just rolling off the start.
That's right where you would change to third. So that's pretty believable if it's just a missed shift to first.
Well, we'll jump as we get rolling here. I'm confused by what has happened here, as we see Cody Smith in the back of the field here. Elijah Innes up towards the front in that number 68. He is being scored as the race leader. The race leader actually is Nick Kessler in that number 4. Timing and scoring is not having fun right now, as Braden Leary takes over the race lead. And now we've got it sorted back out. So it took us a couple laps, but we got it sorted out, and we'll try to see now that we have our timing and scoring issue figured out, let's see what happened at the start to Scott Warren. Now, Warren is that This Is War car on the outside row. Turn. See here, and just blows up. Wow, that's interesting. Maybe, I don't know if he's using an actual H-pattern shifter, but it could have been that if he is using that H-pattern, it could have just slipped down into first accidentally.
That's what I was thinking that could have happened there. I can't think of how it could happen with the regular paddle shifters that most people have. I just can't think of it.
Joe Gauthier in the 67, he was the one that got, that Warren had cut across there in that number 67. He appears to be fine. That's the 40 of Gavin Hibbs falling to the back of this group. So 16-car breakaway up at the front of the pack, and the second group currently being led by the pole sitter, Cody Smith. Watch out, Kessler. Through the grass, keeping it straight. The question's going to be what happens coming off the grass. He is fine. Wow, what a save.
That was incredible, actually. Now the question is, does he get a penalty for that? Because he did hit the cone. That implies when you can get back onto the racetrack from the pit lane. So that'll be interesting to see if you manage to get up above it and not get a penalty.
That was absolutely stellar driving by the driver of the number 4. And we've seen it from him that he likes to go to the back during these races and try to work his way back forward. I don't think that was how he intended on doing it, though. As Elijah Innes, who won the season opener here at Daytona, gets to the lead, pushed by Chris Worrell, who won round number 2.
Two guys that win races are at the front. What do you expect there? And Daniel Falkingham, he's riding in third position. We saw how good he was last week. Remember how good he was with the draft and stuff. This is the first proper plate track that we get to see him at. It'll be interesting to see how he does if he can convert that here at Daytona.
He ran several races here with the iRacing. Well, there it is. With the Circle B Diecast Series. What was it that Daryl, I think it was it Michael, when the truck series kept switching its name? What do you call it? The Gander Outdoor Camping World Craftsman Series?
Yep. Yep.
We're going to be doing a lot of that as Chris Worrell jumps up in front of Daniel Falkingham to take that race lead. The 22 of Aaron Tribble sitting right there as well in that very slick snap-on number 22. As these guys working their way through lap 7 here at Daytona. Of lap 80, Brody Smith bailing out to go to the back. Elijah Innes bailing out to go to the back as well. And Daniel Falkingham comes down in front of Chris Worrell and takes that race lead.
Smooth move, and that was pretty academic there from Daniel just to move when he did. Now I'll be interested to see if he can just hold it. This top lane has looked strong at times, but it's also looked pretty weak as well. Just a matter of who's organized in that line. So if this bottom can stay kind of organized, this bottom lane should be the lane to be in. But as we've said, the top lane does look like it does have the momentum when it wants to use it.
Top lane around here at Daytona has been really, really good, especially coming down towards the tri-oval. So that can be used as a weapon, and I'm sure will be used as a weapon here tonight as Tribble goes down to the inside line to cover off Daniel Falkingham. That springs the 12 of Greg McConey, last week's winner, to the front of the pack. The 40 of Gavin Hibbs is there pushing him, and behind him, it's a familiar color. This is not going to be the car he's going to be running during the Rowdy Energy Series, but that 073 of Michael Anthony. We saw him have a lot of success last year, was not able to put it in victory lane, but Anthony back and looking just as good as he did last year.
This top lane is looking very unorganized at the moment. Greg actually got almost awfully close to accidentally making contact with Falkingham there. And look at this, we got one guy going to the back here. But this top lane looked very disorganized, and it's kind of starting to show there as it's really strung out.
That was Tim Hendry that bailed out to go to the back. Jason Pappen, that number 1, starting to make his way up on that outside line. A race currently being led, and we had mentioned it last week. Race currently being led by 13-year-old Aaron Tribble. Tribble did a great job during last year's season and is now back and ready to go for this year, and currently sitting in the 10th position, 72-year-old Mark McFadden. You want to talk about an age gap, you want to talk about a generation gap, both of them running in the top 10.
I looked it up because I was actually really unsure after last week when I heard Aaron's age, how old you had to be to join iRacing. It is 13 years old. So he is right at the threshold that you can race on iRacing, apparently, according to them.
Yeah, and he did a great job last year. Clean racer, had no problems. And I'm sure, I mean, the series itself did a little bit of cleaning out over the course of last year, over the course of this off season between the Cup Series ending in November and then the Superspeedway Series ending in December. And Tribble was one of those guys that they were very willing to keep coming out of last year going into this year.
That shows a lot when you're a 13-year-old, and people know that you're that young too. And then the higher ups, the grown-ups, as you could say, want to keep you on board. That shows that you have a lot of class and a lot of maturity for your age. So good on you, Aaron, for being a good force in this league.
And leading this inside line pretty soundly with that 22. He has been straight as an arrow this entire time he's been out in front. And one thing that he does have working for him, as you mentioned, with how good Daniel Falkingham was at drafting last week at the iRacing Superspeedway, he has been able to keep that 22 out in front as the 40 and the 12 now starting to mount a charge. But this is really the first charge they've had since the 22 of Tribble took the lead.
And this Daniel is by far the guy that in this bottom lane that's keeping it together, because at the moment, this bottom lane is now the unorganized line to be in. It's just Daniel and Aaron, basically. They're the two that are really helping this front line, because they're literally the two that's only organized.
Chris Morels and Sean Tuera laying off of the 03 just a little bit. There is a car length there to where Gavin Hibbs can come down if he so chooses. So I think that might have been an unintended move down to the inside line, as it's the 18 South Point Toyota of Shane Paul. Now, as we had mentioned, Paul earlier on today has had a couple of very good runs in this season so far. Started towards the back of the field, has gotten his way up to the 18th position, has been able to cut the field in half from where he started. That 18 has really been on the move tonight.
He's done a good job tonight too, because I mean he's really moved up the field. How many places has he moved up? I can't. It's mine isn't quite showing. Yeah, he's plus 18, and actually, according to mine, if I might be wrong, but Tribble has moved up 24 positions. Is that right at all, or
that is?
So
Michael Anthony has gone up 27. So we've had some big movers here tonight, and that does bode well in this series, because I believe there is a 1 point. There is a 1 point bonus. There are several bonuses that you can occur during a race here at here in the what used to be the iRacing East Series. It's 5 bonus points for the pole, so Cody Smith has that in his pocket. 1 bonus point for a lap led. 5 bonus points for most laps led, which is what decided the championship last year. You also get an extra bonus point if you have 0 X's at the end of the race. and if you are the biggest mover. So it does behoove you, if you want an extra point, to try to move up through this field. As we are now seamlessly working lap 16.
I just thought of something here, but have we seen a whole lot of green flag pit stops this season so far? I don't think we have.
This season, I would say no, but in the past, we certainly have. So, and these guys have been incredibly clean on these green flag pit stops. The only issue that I would say,
we did remember it. We did at Talladega, remember, because of trying to remember who it was now.
Describe the situation. Maybe I can help you.
Crashing on pit in the entry to pit. Adrian Moore. Adrian Moore is the one who acted. Yes, there we go. So we have.
So as we, again, seamlessly working lap 17, this race has just flown right on by after the stumbling, unprepared start, and that's mainly on me for the start of this race. As Tribble and McConey still battling up towards the front. Now, Nate, I did not see what the fuel limit was. I would have to assume it's 70, yes?
It's a lot less than that. It's actually 50.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we should be expecting pit stops.
Changes a lot. I just noticed that too.
We'll be expecting pit stops any minute then. One thing I am noticing, this field is pretty much all right here together. Usually we'll see one big pack up at the front of about 16 or 17 cars, followed by another big pack that's just trying to stay out of trouble towards the back. Right now, from what I can tell, we have a 30-car pack right here up at the front that are all within 2 seconds of the race lead.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Nobody's really openly went to the back
Oh,
tonight.
here they come.
That. Nobody really...
It's the 21 of Shyler Brown and the 73 that is Mark Brown.
Got a partner. That's what matters.
Exactly right. In relation, I don't know.
He's might as well be relation. You got a partner that works for you.
Exactly right. As Tribble still leading this group. That's the number 90 of Nicholas Wing up on the outside getting lapped. And that's a nice little tribute car there. We'll get a look at it if these guys do not come into pit road here, which doesn't look like they are.
Couple at the back.
Just a little bit of a...
Brazington looks like he's won.
Yep, Brazington and Gautier both come into pit road. Going back to Nicholas Wing, that number 90.
There is in the chat right now, there is a lot of people spamming that they're going to pit. So if I had to guess, we're going to see a lot of people pit here.
I would have to assume. So we will highlight that number 90 here in a minute after we get through the pit cycle. As you can see, that outside line starting to funnel down. Greg McConey, who was leading that outside line, has funneled down. Jashawn Duera funneling down as well. This might bring the whole field in, except for one or two drivers. Look at the spread there.
And does everybody get through clean? No, not quite.
Hibbs does just clip that entry cone.
That was cleaner than I thought. I'm not going to lie.
So a very good pit entry for these guys. Jason Papp, Jesse Cottrell, I believe Shane Paul, John LeBombard. Those guys stay out. The 48 of Connor Trafari really blew the pit stall.
It looks like we got the rest fitting now here.
There's Aaron Tribble, Chris Worrell, right out there with him. Worrell actually jumps Tribble on pit exit. Daniel Falkingham, the winner of the race off of pit road, I believe. Doesn't look like he was, actually. The
Austin
of Nick
Rucker.
Kessler.
I didn't even see him either.
He went way up there. So 3 of the dudes racing cars. The double
Oh,
zero.
there's one in the wreck in the back. Mark McFadden. Oh, this is a massive crash.
There's McFadden on the outside. Caution is out. Saw Gene Cato there as well. And we'll get you what happened here is I would have to assume this was coming out of pit road at the back of the pack. It's like Joe Gautier may have had an incident here that we're not going to be able to see, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Who was that? There was somebody that flew. Oh, it looks like somebody... oh, wow, it was the 08 of Gene Cato was the one that went flying, and it looked like Cato got hooked by somebody who was coming off the pit road, from what I can assume, with the blink. And, wow, the damage on the 4 of Nick Kessler. Where did he get that damage from?
I noticed that somebody I thought drove through, and I wasn't sure, but I'm going back to look at it now. I thought I saw somebody just drive right through the pit stalls. I think it was Nick.
Oh, so he would have gotten that damage on pit road.
Yeah, Nick drove straight through, so that's why he has his damage.
Okay. So the caution
And he's
has
spinning out right now. Look at this. He's spinning out right now. Oh, my goodness.
Trying to see it. Unfortunately, we're not able to get a look.
He just blew an engine.
Yep, he is just... You see the... Yeah, there he is. Pretty much stopped at the same spot that Scott Warren stopped in.
What on earth?
Here he comes out of pit road. Oh, yeah, and that nose dips. Yeah, he did not do that intentionally. Let's go in and try to listen to what happened. Got right up to the top of the rev range and just blew up. Didn't even redline. Just blew up on him.
I'm guessing that's due to the damage that he got on pit road then. It's just probably overheated the car and it probably just blew then.
That would be an assumption. And now Chris Worrell, who's being scored as the race leader, at least on my timing and scoring, which we've seen tonight has been about as reliable as you can get, is now coming back around.
I think I'm just looking at the iRacing chat. I think there's a scoring issue with iRacing at the moment. So we might not be right, and I don't think iRacing's right either at the moment.
They might be trying to... I don't know. Maybe they got caught a lap down, or maybe they had to go around and pass the pace car. I'm not sure.
I don't think... Because Chris is pitting here.
Cody's coming in as well. Worrell is being scored as the race leader. We can tell you that. Or at least on our timing and scoring, Worrell is being scored as the race leader. Now it's Deshaun Duera.
The pace car has picked up Tribble, and they're extending the yellow here. The pace car currently has Tribble, but he's being scored in 15th. And then Boucher is next to the line, and then Brown is third along with Trafari. I don't think
No.
we know exactly what's going on. I don't think iRacing knows either, and I think league management might be struggling to get this comprehended here because this is a lot right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame it. And now the iRacing timing and scoring, for those that do not know, the iRacing timing and scoring updates at the end of every lap. So when you cross the line, that is when the in-game timing and scoring that Nate is seeing updates. The timing and scoring that I have with our system for our overlays updates instantly. And right now, I'm actually showing Aaron Tribble a lap down in 10th. Well, now 14th.
So my question is, was Nick the leader when his engine blew, and it's caused this whatever is going on to happen? I'm not sure at all.
Yeah, I don't know either, as the lights are out on the pace truck, and I'm not sure.
I would not imagine we go back to green here. This is a lot of stuff here that needs to be resolved still, I believe.
Yeah, this is an iRacing fault, and I think with how our race started with the overlay and our timing and scoring being off, and you can see they've extended the caution again. I think that might have been a precursor to what has happened here. Because while it is showing Aaron Tribble third in line, it's also showing Aaron Tribble a lap down. And he had come in with that lead pack that Kessler was a part of when they all came into pit. He led the race coming in. So where he would have lost a lap in that, I don't know.
I think Aaron just kind of got the short end of the stick here because a lot of people just got waved around and he got held up behind them all.
Yeah, now he's getting his wave around. So I think we'll take this time to take a quick break while these guys get this sorted out, as I think they might be looking to extend this caution at least one more lap. So we will take a break while this gets sorted out. We'll be right back. You're watching the Circle B Diecast Super Speedway Series here on ESPN. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Circle B Diecast Super Speedway Series, and unlike what we had anticipated, they are not going to be delaying this restart. We are back under green flag conditions. after a timing and scoring error, has jumbled up this field after a wreck coming back onto the racetrack from pit exit. So right now it is Chris Worrell. Actually, this man right here of Brody Smith is actually being scored, at least on my timing and scoring. Brody Smith is being scored as the race leader.
And now we got to admin yellow.
Now the caution comes out, and I think it's because they now realize that they didn't get the scoring error fixed.
And honestly, that's probably the best way to fix this, though, because then it resets iRacing to where it needs to be at.
So right now, Brody Smith, who we had not seen up towards the front since he started the race in 6th, is being scored the race leader in the 24. Yeah, this time, the only way I would say this is acceptable is because this is a super speedway. So you can make these positions up easily. What they have to get to is who was where on the racetrack and who was a lap down and who wasn't. Because right now I'm showing the leader working lap 28, about to start lap 29. Meanwhile, guys like Austin Rucker, Shyler Brown, those guys had come into pit due to damage. But Jason Papp was in pit road when the caution came out on the lead lap. He was actually the leader of the race and is being scored a lap down. Dan Brazington being scored 2 laps down. Shane Paul, Connor Trafari, Cody Smith, Zach Bowerman, all being scored multiple laps down at this point as the lead cars come in again.
I've been in a race control role, I've been in a league admin role, and I've only seen one case where it's ever gotten this jumbled up due to an iRacing error. And the only way that we were able to fix it was we basically told everyone to stop in pit road, have the guys get out of the cars, throw yellows until we got it figured out, and sort it back manually that way. Which I don't know if that's even possible here, but this is a lot of confusion, I think, overall from the league and just trying to figure out who goes where.
Aside from who wrecked coming out of pit road, I could not imagine. I believe everybody was on the lead lap. And now, after throwing that manual caution, now it appears as though it has fixed itself, because now guys that I had just mentioned, like Jason Papp, those guys are all on the lead lap now.
Yeah, damn Brazington. So yeah, I think now we're at a point where it's acceptable. I don't think Brody Smith was in the leading position, though. I think it was, if I was correct, I think it was Worrell that should have been the leader.
The way they came off of pit road when this all started, the way they came off of pit road was Kessler, Austin Rucker, and then Daniel Falkingham. So that would have been the top 3. So Austin Rucker theoretically should be the race leader in the 79.
I think we had, then I believe we had 4 people that were still circulating in pit right when the yellow came out. And then you had Nick as well, who we saw his...
The front straightaway almost had a big run over. But yeah, that would have been Jason Papp. I believe it was Papp, Worley, at least those 2 I know for certain were in pit road. I think it was either Brandon Wilson or it was Brandon Wilson was in with them, because I remember it was 3 of the dudes racing cars were in pit road, plus 1 straggler.
Well, this has taken, what, about 10 laps to sort out, roughly?
Yeah, the caution came out. The initial caution for the wreck, it came out on lap 21, and when we take the green flag, we will be working lap 32. So yeah, 10 laps to sort out.
It's definitely better than when NASCAR went 55 laps under yellow at Martinsville to try to fix a scoring error. So good job, guys.
Yes, very good.
Yes, good
You
job.
You did it faster than real life NASCAR. You may not have gotten the order right, but you did it faster than that. So
Look who's going to lead the race. Cruz Hernandez Jr.
there you go.
Is he the leader that legitimately of the race? We're not sure, but we're going to go with it.
We're rolling with what timing and scoring says now. Should he be there? Doesn't matter. Green flag coming out. Cruz Hernandez Jr. leads the way. Jason Papp on the outside line. Brody Smith, Shane Paul pushing, and Papp's in the wall, and that will end his race.
Oh.
Please tell me that was not another blown motor, because his car turned dead right.
That could be.
That would... Boy, this was just cursed from the word go. If we're going to go back and we're going to take a look at the caution here. Oh, we're hearing Jason Papp missed a gear. So it was the same issue. So that
there has to be a reason for this.
Yeah, there are way too many things that have happened here tonight in this race that are unique. To have 3 drivers miss a shift in the same portion of the racetrack and then have essentially a race-crippling timing and scoring error, there's something not right with what has happened tonight. And now we're going to lose another lap of green flag racing because these guys have not cycled around to the pace car after the wreck.
Goodness. We're just finding every anomaly that iRacing can have with their timing and scoring issues, aren't we?
I mean, there we go. There's the pace car now, picking up Chris Worrell as the race leader. Brandon Wilson has also decided to stay out. And for whatever reason, it's not allowing me to see this replay. Oh, because that was not the right caution replay. That's why. See? If I paid attention to what my timing and scoring thing was telling me, which it's given me absolutely no reason to tonight, I would have realized that that was not the right caution. So we're gonna see this again here. This is the race start on this most recent restart here. Watch the 1 of Jason Papp leading the outside lane. And just, it's as if he started in first gear and missed a shift going up to second. '76 of GT Park also had a spin off there. Let's follow Park. That maroon and chrome 76 there on the inside line. Wreck's happening in front of him now. And Papp is going to go spinning off the wall, hits Cody Smith, and then Cody, with nowhere to go and no way to control, just ends up swatting off the 76 of Park.
I honestly thought when I saw him spinning in the middle of the racetrack, I really thought there's going to be a lot more cars got collected in that. The fact that only 3 cars got collected in that is an incredible achievement.
I think one of the things that certainly helped with that was the fact that they weren't up to racing speed just yet, so they could slow down get wound up in time. But now we are about to start lap 36 when we take the green flag of lap 80. We've had scoring errors. We have had 3 blown engines on restarts. I think it's time, and we were talking about this race settling in and becoming a normal race.
We were wrong.
This is welcome to Anomaly Friday.
We said, oh, this race is going to be nice and calm. We're going to get green flag pit stops. It's going to go nice and calm. Yeah, we should have learned from, what was it, Monday night? Or was it, what night was that we did that?
Last Friday. For iRacing East or for a different series?
For the Western.
Oh, Bristol on Tuesday.
Yeah, Bristol. Tuesday night. Yeah, we did that Tuesday night, remember?
So here we go. Let's try to find some normalcy here. Chris Worrell leading the race. Brandon Wilson to his outside. Green flag is out. Just shy of halfway. We are green here at Daytona.
Any engines being blown? None that I can see.
Yeah, no, we're good now. I think the best way to avoid these issues, just keep it green. Just keep it green. It's Worrell getting pushed by Brody Smith. We will be taking one more commercial break during this race. After that commercial break, we'll get you the point standings that we did not show you at the beginning of the night. As Brody Smith, who currently is the points leader, the reigning defending champion in this series, currently sitting in second place, pushing one of the guys who we thought was going to be the favorites to win the championship last year, Chris Worrell. Brandon Wilson leading the outside line. He has his teammate of Greg McConey pushing him.
Falkingham, he made a pretty good move out on the outside there. He made it 3 wide initially. It kind of singled itself back out. Falkingham isn't afraid to make moves. We saw it last week at the iRacing Superspeedway. He was willing to make moves and try to get back to the front whenever he fell back. So he's doing a great job at the moment. Sure, he's a little bit further back than he'd like to be at, but he's doing a great job at the moment.
I think, if I remember correctly, I'm going to flip this thing on here, my timing and scoring. Let me see. Driver I rating. Daniel Falkingham is currently sitting at a 7,099 I rating right now, so nearly pro status for Daniel Falkingham. So yeah, I would hope he knows how to get around these places.
Just a 7,000? Oh,
yeah, only 7,000.
That's only, that's just barely 2 times what I got.
Yeah, I mean, that's... And when you're sitting down at the 2,000 level, it's flirting between 2,000 and 1,900 like I am, because once I do start to make I-rating gains, everyone likes to wreck me all at the same time in every race. Yeah, you tend to wonder, what is he doing differently that I'm not?
It gets better after 2,300, I tell you. I promise.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Chris Worrell still leading this race. Brandon Wilson coming up on that outside line and having that teammate behind him, that I'm sure is giving him a lot of comfort right now. Having a guy that he knows behind him.
This pack is moving quite well. The top 4 of the top 6 there just set their fastest laps of the race with the 47.1. So this pack is moving. It is moving faster than it has, and this might affect how this pack eventually strings out. Remember how compact it was and how everyone was in line with each other that first run. It's definitely got at least 2 packs working here.
And not only has Daniel Falkingham worked his way back up to the front, look who is on the inside of him. Aaron Tribble in the 22 has worked his way back up to the front. A couple of teammates, Braden Leary in the 99. He is up now towards the front. John LeBombard, who started stone dead last on the outside line in that Monster Energy number 95, getting pushed by Michael Anthony, making his season debut here tonight, and then has the 21 of Shyler Brown behind him. newcomers is... Go ahead.
And his bottom lane is a little bit more strung out, but it's very organized. And then, like we kind of talked about, this top lane, it only has 2 pushers, and Daniel's now starting to make it 3, and look at how the momentum has shifted to the top.
And look at how wild Braden Leary got going through the tri-oval, coming out of turn 4 and through the tri-oval. That tri-oval is not as easy as it looks to get through. That's a place where the car tends to get very light. It's a lot easier to get through than the Open Legacy Daytona as Worrell bows out. So it's not the easiest place on the racetrack to get through as McConey goes down to pick up his teammate. Leary now with Daniel Falkingham on the outside.
That's a massive push, and Leary's going to clear this, and he might just have enough room for Falkingham to come with him. But, oh, look at that wiggle.
Yeah, how about look at this camera? This is right off the back bumper of Braden Leary. Yeah, you think these guys get a little close around here? As Falkingham goes to the middle.
We told you he wasn't afraid to make some moves, were we?
No, Falkingham, we know he has been incredibly good and just unfortunately always seems to find himself in the big wreck in the mid to latter portion of the race, just as he was last week, as Brody Smith jumps up to that outside. Shyler Brown and Mark Brown on the inside line, the 73 and the 21. Those guys were the first 2 to pit under the green flag cycle just before everybody else came in. And now they're running up, starting 4th on the inside line. What a save by Brody Smith, almost. And just as we had mentioned, Falkingham, green flag stays
green.
out.
Oh, we're not going to stay green for long. I don't think we're staying green.
As Brody Smith now is stopped on the inside line, trying to get back up onto the track. And that just looked like an awkward push. And that has really split this field up. As now it is Greg McConey being pushed by Mark Brown up at the front of the field.
I'm impressed that wasn't a yellow, somehow.
But with everything that's happened tonight, are we really?
No, I'm not. I really am not as well.
So let's go back and see what happened here with Brody Smith. We might take this. Oh, no, we're going to go back a little bit further than this here as I look through the incidents here. See if we can see what happened. We'll go overhead. There's the 03. Oh, the 501 comes up and knocks the 24 out of line. Oh, boy, Braden Leary just missed it. My goodness. See Brody Smith in the 24. You're going to see him spun around sideways there, and there he is. Then I think it showed that Chris Worrell had an issue in the 6. A little bit later on in the lap, there's Worrell getting back on the racetrack. See if we could see what we could see here. Oh no, this is just him getting through the wreck. Jeremy Boucher. Oh, we just missed it. We were a little too quick to pull the plug on the replay. As there's, I think that's Clayton White in the 46, the Copper Comet, coming across and knocking the 6 around.
I need to go back to science class because I have so many jokes that I could tell that I really don't want to sound stupid, so I just don't say it.
So Brandon Wilson, who unfortunately triggered that, is now leading the race with Greg McConey behind him. Aaron Tribble, Cruz Hernandez Jr. on the outside line. Everybody else sitting on the inside line in this front pack. 9 seconds back, and running in the 9th position is the 9 of Zach Bowerman. How's that for some the stars
Like
aligning?
it was meant to be. Oh, yellow's out.
Yep. Caution is out now. Question will be, what is that for?
It is for an Alex Link.
Alex Link, one of the debutants here in the series. Boy, we have been, between me and iRacing, this has been one of the more schizophrenic, discombobulated broadcasts we've put on. Oh, wow. Yep, there he goes around. And that's all we'll get to see. So with that, and while the pace car tries to find Brandon Wilson, we will take a quick break and be right back here while we try to calm ourselves down and figure out what we're doing with our lives. We will be back right after this. You're watching the Circle B Diecast Super Speedway Series here on ESPN. Don't go away. Coming back live here on what has been a wild night here at Daytona. We'll get you now, just before we go back to green flag racing here, we'll get you the point standings. As you see, Brody Smith leading the point standings. Up by, 15 points over Scott Warren and Shane Posey both. Now Posey is here running in the 4th position right now. Or 3rd position, rather. GT Park has been involved in an incident. Connor Trafari's gotten a couple dings and dents. So the points as they sit right now could look quite a bit different after tonight, as they tend to do coming out of Superspeedway races. And with the addition of some new drivers coming into the series after tonight, we are going to be expanding it a little bit from the 45 that we have now. As we go back to green flag racing here at Daytona, 30 laps to go. Aaron Tribble has found himself back in the race lead, with Shane Posey pushing. Greg McConey still there battling with him on the outside line.
50 laps in, 30 laps to go, and this is going to be the stage of the race where you start to think about the end game. We saw how long these guys can go. They can go about 20-odd laps on the fuel tank. So now the question is do you put strategy into the mix? When do you pit if this goes green the rest of the way? Do you pit, with 20 to go? Do you pit with, 10 to go? There's a lot of different factors that can go into this. And it'll be interesting to see as this race goes what people do.
It certainly will be, as you see McConey sliding down in front of Aaron Tribble up here at the front of the field. Seeing a lot of the slower and damaged cars now starting to make their way, and two very distinct packs once again have formed. Another thing we're seeing here tonight is the same thing that we saw on the first race of the year. That 3 of James Cato, that Tennessee Volunteers number 3. Now Cato won a race here last year, won the money race, and had the best reaction on ESPN in 2020 after not realizing that it was a money race. Won a cool $80 and had a great reaction to that. He is trying to pull a Zach Bowerman from the opening race of the season. Now, Bowerman was caught up in an earlier wreck at the season opener, lost the front end of his car, and was able to maintain, and I believe, if I remember right, ended up with a top 10 finish. James Cato is trying to be this race's Zach Bowerman.
He's done a good job, and he's coming out of line here, probably to just get air in the nose because it is slightly damaged. The airflow just isn't quite right in that car. So that will be a little bit difficult for him in order to maybe manage that, but it is what it is, and you kind of just have to deal with it here.
He's now fallen to the back of that pack. He was being pushed by Gavin Hibbs, and is now fallen to the back of that group, hoping that he can latch on to the back of somebody to be able to keep his run up towards the front, but it's not looking like that's going to be the case. Might just be too damaged, and yep, he's really falling off at a rapid pace now.
There's a couple other people that are pretty damaged up in this pack. I mean, Dan Bracington is one who very proudly, I must say, led his first laps in SRE. I can't tell you how proud I was of that man for that. But, I mean, John Lombard, he's also, pretty damaged. And Brandon Wilson, he's got good, significant right rear quarter damage. And as we see some 3-wide action here at the front, this could make some life interesting here for a lot of different drivers.
It certainly could be, as we are 2 by 2, just as we were at the start of this race. We had gone the first 20 laps without caution, then a wreck coming through pit exit set off a chain of events that will make this one of the more memorable races of the season, no matter what happens at the finish. We've since gotten those issues sorted out and trying to get as much green flag racing in as possible here in the last 26 laps. And because it is 26 laps to go, we do have one more pit stop left. So the question is, when do you take it?
You need a partner, though. You got to have friends. And some of these guys, they run solo in this thing. And some guys, they have lots of, guys in their Discord channel to help them out. So this is, at this stage of the race, it's an advantage to have as many friends as possible. Oh my goodness! There's no
there
way.
goes Anthony. Cody Smith now.
No way. That was incredible.
Oh, folks, we've seen it all here tonight. We have absolutely seen it all.
There should have been 5 wrecks in this wreck, and somehow the 42 just straight up drifted the entire corner.
And can you explain to me how the 22 of Aaron Tribble has found himself back in the race lead?
No idea. I've lost. I've lost all. I can't even comprehend anything this race anymore. It's too crazy.
This is one where you just stop trying to understand and just enjoy.
We're just gonna call it as we see it. We're not gonna. Yeah, this is. I can't understand the race. Aaron Tribble's leading the race. How about that?
He certainly is. Let's try to go back and dissect just what the heck happened here. We're coming through turn 4, and this is where it's about to get crazy. We're going to go back up to the blimp. There you see the 81 and 83. This is going to start with those two going into 1. Cruz gets a little loose, comes down, Bowerman, then Anthony gets run over from behind by the 42 of Cody Smith, and then Cody just put in his application for the next Fast and Furious movie.
Definitely, I think he might get a callback. That's pretty good.
Florida Drift. Here it is. So we saw how Tribble got the race lead. He had poked out just at the perfect time to get the bump from Cruz Hernandez. And Posey weaving and wobbling down at the bottom of the racetrack there as Zach Bowerman. And it's funny, that all happened right in front of Zach Bowerman. He was the only one that didn't seem fazed by any of it.
Got ice in those veins, I guess.
He's got to. That or he just wasn't paying attention.
Hey, sometimes that's a benefit to not pay attention in certain situations.
Listen, I have failed upwards so many times just by simply not paying attention. I am all on board with that. As now Greg McConey goes to the inside, takes the lead of the race, but Zishan Duera on the outside line now, and he will lead that lap, and that's the momentum shift on that outside lane coming out of turn 4. You can really get a good run coming into that tri-oval, and how many Daytona 500s have we seen decided by the car on the outside line going through the tri-oval?
Absolutely, and I mean, we're getting to that stage where 20 to go here, where, okay, fuel strategy is going to start to come into play. Now, the thing is, though, we have green-white checkers here, which we have 2 that could potentially happen, so you got to account for that. So I'm guessing about 65 is about the lap I'm thinking that you're going to see a good chunk of people pit. Now that I said that, it'll probably be about 5 to 10 laps after that.
Well, lap 65, these guys up here at the front all came in on lap 48, except for Shane Posey, who came in on lap 45. So that would be exactly 20 laps for Posey if he can make it to lap 65, and that is what the majority of the field were able to do on the first run, was 20 laps. So your pit window is dead on.
But it won't work because I said it. That's the thing. It won't work.
But that's typically, we talk about it all the time, especially between you and me, the commentator curse. After what was it? It was Bristol this past Tuesday night, the commentator curse. But with everything that's gone on tonight, that might not be in effect tonight.
I'm just doing it in reverse. It's not going to work. They're not going to pit on lap 65 now. I'm just calling it. They won't pit on lap 65.
So we have reached the point of desperation here in this broadcast where we are trying to reverse psychology a computer.
I think it could work.
Oh man, we've gone off the rails tonight in the best way possible. Sean Clara and Greg McConey still up here at the front. Boy, Aaron Tribble still hanging in there on that inside line, not getting much help from Shane Posey behind him. And Cruz Hernandez Jr. is right up there on the outside line in the 81. He didn't seem phased. And also, as we mentioned, the series debutante, Alex Link, is up here in the 62, the last car on the outside line, as I think that is Ryan Worley makes a liar out of it.
Wasn't Alex Link the cause of the last yellow?
It was.
Or that's an incredible performance right there, to be the cause of the yellow, to claw your way back up to this lead pack. That's a performance right there. This kid is, or man, I'm not even sure how old this individual is. This person is doing a fantastic job.
He certainly has. It's the 61, another series debutant of Jeremy Boucher, is the one trailing at the back end of the outside lane. Alex Rucker in the 97 is also up here at the back end of this 12-car front. As we are getting close, Nate, to your 65-lap mark, 17 laps to go here up at the front. Front of the field, and again, one pit stop still left.
Yeah, they ain't gonna pit. They ain't doing it.
So it doesn't look like these guys are trying to get sorted out. Now we look further behind them. We're talking 6.5 seconds back is the 40 of Gavin Hibbs. Now this is essentially the group of drivers that lost out on that big incident that should have been a caution that wasn't. So a nice little group of 8 drivers here that will try, one would assume would want to try to get up to the front of this field coming out of the pit cycle since it's about to start.
Yeah, this top pack, they look like they don't want to get to the bottom. They want to race it up. So, I mean, look at this push here. This is an incredible push by Bowerman.
Bowerman has done a fantastic job tonight, and that car is about as clean as you can get. And now he's going to be sprung free on that outside lane as Deshaun Duera falls down in front of Greg McConey. Only problem for Bowerman is he does not have a push coming up behind as we hit 15 laps to go here at Daytona. Again, 12-car pack up here at the front. Go back what is now 8 seconds, and you will find the next 8 cars.
How convenient.
Go ahead.
I was about to say how convenient that is that the next pack is 8 cars as well.
So 13th through, what would that be, 19th, represented in this pack, Gavin Hibbs, Michael Anthony, Dan Brazenton, Brandon Wilson, John LeBombard, William Rucker, and Mark McFadden, all in this group.
Oh, we got one taker.
It would be the 83 of Shane Posey, has come down by himself. Less than ideal strategy.
Oh, and he blew his pit stop too. He went through his box, so that really just compounded the issue there.
And you can see now, if he would have just waited one lap, well, now he couldn't have actually, because he had come in. He was the lone car that came in on lap 45, so he absolutely needed to come in on that lap. There was no debating it. Now, as you see up here at the front, everyone running single file. This entire 11-car front pack is going to be heading into pit road here.
I said lap 67, right?
Yes, you did.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, look at that. I was right on the money.
Greg
That's a big lock up there in the back of that pack there. That was a good job by everybody else, though.
A couple of guys deciding to stay out. Greg McConey being one of them. McConey, Cruz Hernandez, and Austin Rucker all decide to go out. You see Bowerman blows his pit stall as well in the number 9.
Nobody took tires there. That's important. Nobody took tires. They all just took fuel. And Tribble coming out, he's going to look like, oh, no, he's not going to be the first one out. It's going to be the driver of the 10 is Jason Dura.
Zashawn Dwera coming out first, but he's got a little bit of a gap, and that could hurt. As you see, a lot of these guys that have had race damage throughout the night getting around. Shiloh Brown.
The rest are in.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just about to say the rest are in. McConey, Hernandez, and Rucker as well.
Yep, Hernandez there. There is Greg McConey coming to a stop in his box. Austin Rucker is down and away. Mark McFadden is in the 71. That will leave two cars up at the front of this field, William Rucker and Brandon Wilson, the 77 and 501, pardon me, are up at the front of this field. That is another series debutant, Tim Hendry, behind them. Hendry several laps down at this point. And Hendry is going to get, or thought was going to get one of those laps back momentarily, but those two now in. Everybody else has come through. Pit stops are still not quite done cycling through. Braden Leary in the 99 had the lead for a moment. Now Zashawn Dwera in the 10 takes it back.
And now the packs are back together. Whoa. What?
Remember what we said. We're not going to try to understand anything from here on out. We just call it as we sees it.
Oh, I'm going to call it as I see it. That was an incredible piece of driving there by Worley to miss that bunch.
It certainly was, and we will try to take a look at that here. It was Nicholas Wing, Braden Leary. Let me see here. Let's see. All right, so we're going to start this from Bowerman making the pass for the race lead. That's Nicholas Wing, who is coming in with Braden Leary. You see Leary hits the apron. And, boy, Ryan Worley did a fantastic job there. Go back and see it one more time here. See Dwera with the race lead, no damage. Goes flying by on the outside. Leary loose on the apron, and Worley, who was just coming off the outside line to come into the pits, ends up making one of the saves of the day.
Pretty impressive.
Certainly, and in all of this, the 22 of Aaron Tribble is back in the lead again.
And notice how it's single file. Everyone's on the bottom. Nobody wants to run to the top yet because what's the point? I mean, we have a little bit of time left. These guys are in the race. That's all that matters at this point, is that you have a chance. And so I think these guys are going to stay single file here for maybe one or two more laps, and then you're going to start to see people move to the top and try to get forward here.
That could be the case, as now we have lost two drivers from this top pack. What was once an 11-car pack is now just a 9-car pack up here at the front. And that odd number could make a difference depending upon which line they choose to run once these guys do start running side by side again. Coming up to damaged lap traffic here, that's Elijah Innes, Braden Leary, who we just saw come into pit road. In that group, as you can see, Cruz Hernandez Jr. on the outside, trying to make a little bit of a move around Alex Link and Jeremy Bushi. This is going to be one of the more crucial moments here, is how well can you get through this traffic, weaving through, not breaking the draft, not losing this draft, because that really can happen here, and if it does, that really cripples you.
And McConey here, he's been kind of playing on that outside of the number 10 for a good chunk of this lap here, just trying to drag him back, and he's done a good job. He's been right there. He just has zero support with the two Browns behind him that just can't quite get to him to help him out.
That was James Cato, Jesse Cottrell, and Nicholas Wing, the drivers that will now be added to this top group. We had mentioned about Nicholas Wing and that paint scheme that he was running tonight, that Sprint Mobile number 90. Nice little Adam Petty tribute on that number 90 here tonight. Of course, Adam Petty losing his life, I believe, was in a practice crash at New Hampshire in 2000. Very nice looking, very nicely done, that Sprint machine.
Absolutely.
Keeping up here with the front of this pack, still a 9-car breakaway, and this is going to be a 9-car breakaway for the rest of this race. 14.5 seconds separates this group from the man who currently occupies the 10th position, Shane Posey, who has a damaged GT Park to draft with. Another...
Okay. We got some packs forming. We got some lines at the top.
Guerra up to the top. Bushi up to the top. Cruz, Hernandez Jr. up to the top. So with 5 laps to go, this is the time where you got to start racing again. Only one race winner this season up in this group, so the odds would say we're going to have a new winner here tonight. Greg McConey, winner of last week's race, and one of the more dramatic finishes we've seen here with the Circle B Diecast Series. And the guy who he just narrowly beat out behind him.
That's how it works out every now and then, doesn't it?
Yep, and that's one of those things with it always seems to happen, especially in auto racing. You get into an incident with a guy one week, the very next week you seem to be right next to him the entire race. You can think of Kenseth and Logano, and around they go! The 61 of Bushi, no caution. We're staying green.
That's not a yellow?
Now, we've seen iRacing has been incredibly stingy with their cautions here lately. If you're not stopped on the racetrack, it's most likely not going to be a caution.
Notice this front pack here. They are closing on a group of about 6 slow cars that's in a pack here. So this will be interesting to see if they catch these guys with... Oh, the yellow's out.
Now the caution comes out, and I believe it's that pack that you were just alluding to in front of them. It is Chris Worrell. Oh, that was the 8 of Michael Anthony. Or was it the 8 of Anthony? Oh, no, it wasn't. Looked as though it was the 8 of Anthony. There is Chris Worrell. We know that. Might have been Brazington, possibly. So we'll see what happened here. Clayton White. Oh, that's Cody Smith. Oh, a big hit. My goodness, that was a huge hit. We'll move it. We'll run that replay again here. So here they come, coming through the tri-oval. That's Cody Smith pushing Chris Worrell. And just hooks him in the right rear. Brazington involved, and Jason Papp, who had been on pit road for so long, getting that car repaired after missing a shift on an earlier restart. Right back in trouble again. So now, with everything that's happened here tonight, let's throw a green-white checkered into the mix. What could possibly go wrong?
I don't think a single thing could go wrong, honestly. But how tonight's gone, it's probably going to be the quietest green flag or green-white checkered you'll ever see.
So the running order as of right now, the top 5 is Aaron Tribble, Greg McConey, Shyler Brown, Mark Brown, and Zach Bowerman. Are your top 5 Alex Link, Cruz Hernandez Jr., Deshaun Duera, Brandon Posey, and Brandon Wilson and Shane Posey, pardon me, round out the top 10. This will also allow Austin Rucker, Michael Anthony, Gavin Hibbs, William Rucker, who have rather clean race cars, Mark McFadden as well, who all have rather clean race cars, back in it here with a chance to try to take it.
Realistically, anyone in this top 8 could win this race. We've seen how strong Tribble's been all night long. We've seen how strong Greg has been all night long. But we haven't really seen a whole lot of the 2 Brown guys. They've all of a sudden just popped up there in 3rd and 4th.
Now we'll have to ask if he does make it onto the podium. I had made this comment after the race last week. We've been calling him Shyler Brown all race this past week. All race last week, and now all race here tonight. And I had made a comment after last week's race, watch it be Skyler. So we're going to ask him. We should probably do that during the middle of the week. That would be the professional thing to do. But we are going to try. We will ask him certainly if he makes it on the podium, if we are pronouncing his name right or if we are butchering it. So we should be coming to the green here this time by, and we are. Our first official attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Aaron Tribble and Greg McConey, the 2 leading rows. Both Shyler and Mark Brown are the pushers in row 2.
And remember how this worked last time. We had one guy that had this time that we don't have any severely damaged cars, but the top lane on the final lap here at Daytona got a massive run, and that's what won the race.
Certainly, and think back to real life as well. Going back to, I believe it was the last Daytona 500 that Denny Hamlin won for Martin Truex Jr. Then you had the incredible finish between Kevin Harvick and Mark Martin. It was the outside line that won those races both times.
Not very often you get to see the inside line get passed. So this will be important to see how this works.
Now, there are a couple of moves here that these guys on the bottom line can make. If Tribble can get out in front, and if Shyler Brown can get out and break free of Greg McConey, he can try to move up, take that run, and then get pushed in front of Tribble. Lord knows we've seen that done here many times in this series. But we're going to see what plays out here. 2 laps to go, a green-white checkered finish from Daytona. Tribble and McConey lead them down.
And no support from behind there. Actually, that's got a little bit too big of a gap, but look at Skyler Brown. He's going to get a nice little push here, and he's going to give it there to Aaron Tribble.
Oh, there's Mark Brown and McConey up and over.
Oh, this is a massive wreck. Took out over half the field.
Greg McConey on his lid. And this will be green-white checkered attempt number 2 now. I was going to mention it, just how out of shape the 73 of Mark Brown just consistently looked on that outside line. There you see Shane Posey going through. Is that Ryan Worley way on the grass? Mark McFadden way on the grass as well. See this again, this time from above, with McConey just riding the 62, and then, boy, the 62 got a big slam from the 81 of Cruz Hernandez. Watch the 81 and the 62. Wow. And then in all of this, I saw it on the first replay. We're going to go on board, and you are going to see a true testament to wreck avoidance. We are on board with the 79 of Austin Rucker, and watch this from his vantage point. Doesn't get touched.
I don't understand that, how that's even possible. That's just luck. That's all you can say there.
And that's, luck is all you need. I think the Beatles said that.
It's kind of interesting there. Borman and Brown, they both pitted. So maybe they were a little too tight on fuel and had to pit here with this extended green-white checkered.
Alex Link, we saw the big hit that he took. Shane Posey, William Rucker in the 77. Ryan Worley coming back around, coming out of pit road. So this is going to be it. The final restart of what has been about as topsy-turvy a race as you could possibly ask for. A discombobulated broadcast crew. A solid start to the race, followed by one of the more severe timing and scoring glitches that I've seen on iRacing. Wrecks that should have been wrecks that weren't, wrecks that should have been cautions that weren't. This has been a night to wear you out, and it is 2 laps away from coming to an end.
You think we'll get to the white flag?
I hope so.
I want to say we will.
I hope so. I really, really do. So we're going to do this again. Aaron Tribble, Brandon Wilson, the leading row. The pushers are going to be Austin Rucker on the inside, Michael Anthony on the outside. From there on, it's Gavin Hibbs, John LeBombard. Mark McFadden has found his way back up into the top 10 after finishing third at the iRacing Superspeedway last week. Shyler Brown, Zach Bowerman are up here. Zashawn Duera still in the top 10. The only one up at the front that was up at the front on the last restart is Aaron Tribble. Everyone else has either been wrecked or shuffled. So again, it will be the final green-white checkered attempt here at Daytona. 13-year-old Aaron Tribble, looking to take his first win in the series, has the best opportunity to do it on that inside line. Pace truck is off. We are back to green flag racing at Daytona.
Oh, there's the wreck at the back. One in the grass.
Shane Posey, maybe not Shane Posey. We're going to stay up here at the front. As Austin Rucker just clipping that apron. It was Tim Hendry that had gone off in the 63. The 22 of Aaron Tribble is out by himself. It was a lie. I should have said he'd gotten clear of Brandon Wilson on the outside. Now Wilson has come back up. Rucker trying to, boy, could he have been trying to split the middle there. Gives a bump to Tribble in the middle of the corner. Gets Tribble loose. And they keep it straight.
And look at this top run. That killed the bottom. And look at this run on the top.
It certainly did. And now Brandon Wilson had a win last season. Moves to the inside line. Tribble trying to fight back on the inside with Rucker. Slow car on the apron might play a factor. No, it won't. That's McConey. Coming down the back straightaway for the final time. Brandon Wilson leads the inside line. Michael Anthony leads the outside line. Car in the grass in the back. Anthony being pushed by Zach Bowerman. Brandon Wilson being pushed by Aaron Tribble.
They're going to crash. They're going to crash.
Brandon Wilson, Tribble.
Oh, my goodness.
Wilson and Anthony to the line. It is the outside line. It's Michael Anthony winning round 4 here at Daytona.
What a finish to this crazy race.
And once again, as we were talking about during the previous caution, it was the outside line that won the race. Michael Anthony, who did not have a win last season, wins in his maiden attempt this year and does it in style as Brandon Wilson did everything he could do to try to keep that 073 from getting around him. What a finish. What a night.
Man, this race was incredible to watch. That was a finish that we deserved all race long.
Yeah, and after everything that has happened tonight, you are 100% right. That was the finish we needed. After all of the issues from tonight, this was 100% the finish that we needed. And as we try to get everybody into the waiting room here for these interviews, just an unbelievable, incredible night here at Daytona.
I think we got some very happy people that we need to interview, man. I think that they're going to be pretty happy tonight.
I think they are as well. And since you're so amped up and excited, we're going to give it to you. Michael Anthony with Nate Siefker, your race winner.
Michael, Nate in the ESPN booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy. How y'all doing?
Doing great, man. I don't think we ever saw it at the front until the final run there at the end. You did an incredible job to get up there. Talk us through your race, maybe through that yellow fiasco as well, and what your situation was during that.
There were a few cautions there. I was surprised about. I only plan on running 2 or 3 races here in IES for the Superspeedway, so I want to run up front and have some fun tonight. But
unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. I just saw it was a little fishy up front, so I dropped back a few times. Didn't want to get involved in that too early, and yeah, it just happened to work out towards the end.
Yeah, and it worked out for you. You guys had a great final run there. I mean, talk us through what your feelings were there at the end of that race.
Know if we were gonna be able to push on that outside, because I had a little rear damage. I know that can somewhat slow you down a little bit if that outside line's not tight. And like I said, it just happened to work out coming out of 4. Everything worked out perfectly.
Yeah, and you started this race 32nd tonight. You were the second to shotgun on the field.
Qualifying lap in. That's right.
Yeah, so I mean, just talk us through how your race was. I mean, you had to move up through the field all night long.
Few times, like I said, I want to go up front. I want to stay up front the entire night through pit cycles, through all that, but it just didn't work out like that. But yeah, it was fun racing up and down the field and getting caught up in the back of the pit stop mess and being about 10-15 seconds back, getting that late caution to help us out, and see what happened at the end there.
Well, Michael, do you got anyone you would like to thank on your victory here tonight?
Balls Out Racing, all my teammates, Kyle, James, Chris, Mark, all them definitely put in a good time. We're getting ready for this upcoming season in a league that we're in on Monday nights. Definitely Jason putting on IES. Still appreciate everything he does and all the sponsors that he puts on for us. I know he had some big news tonight that I won't spoil it on the broadcast. I don't know if he already has or not.
Yeah,
but
he said it during the during pre-race.
he did. Awesome. Yeah, I'm happy for him. Happy he can get something like that going for him.
Well, sounds good. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
So that was your race winner, Michael Anthony. And in just a moment here, we're going to get our second place finisher in, Brandon Wilson. And I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting to see which races he picks and chooses to run in, especially with the success he had here tonight. That could spell disaster for some drivers as far as chances of winning, because he was an incredible driver once he got going last year. Second place finisher tonight goes to Brandon Wilson. And Brandon, it pretty much a case of we got caught up on the wrong line tonight.
Yeah, I would say so. But it was fun nonetheless. That top side, man, it was just so hard to get it going. But the bottom lane was definitely the lane tonight. But yeah, I got in a few misfortunate accidents there. Definitely apologize to Brody about that. I didn't know we came that close. I can't believe I saved it. That was another thing. But all in all, it was a pretty good race.
Yeah, and going through everything that we had to go through tonight, whether it be we had a clean start, a couple guys having issues shifting tonight. Then we had the break with the timing and scoring error. Just explain to us what it's like in a race that's as crazy as this one was tonight.
Well, it was definitely one for the books. I mean, it was these guys have a lot of competition each week. So when we have like yellow flag, and especially that long delay yellow flag, it just kind of throws your rhythm off a little bit too. So, but yeah, these cars are. I guess they updated the package. It's a little bit different now. The closing rate's insane, but when you get behind someone, you just can't really stay hooked up as much as you can, like with the Cup cars or whatever.
Well, we're off next week, and then we're going to a Cup car. It's the old Cup car. It's the ARCA car that we go to at Talladega on the 19th of February. What are your thoughts? You only ran the ARCA cars once last year. They were here at Daytona. That proved to be a very entertaining race. What are you expecting out of Talladega in 2 weeks?
I'm expecting another impressive race. The ARCA cars are pretty fun. I like racing them, but they are kind of a little finicky, especially at the front end there. You can turn someone pretty easy, but I think it's going to be a good race. So can't wait to get to that one.
All right, anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, Circle B Diecast, Butt Kicker, iRacing, iFlag, Midwest Motor Customs there, and most importantly, Rowdy Energy coming on board. That's really awesome, man. I can't believe that was a shock to us. So appreciate you guys too. You always do a great job in the booth.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Congratulations on your second place finish tonight.
Thanks, man.
All right, so that was Brandon Wilson. I saw Bowerman pop up on the timing and scoring. That's who Nate is going to have an interview with now with our third place finisher.
Zach, Nate in the ESPN booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Oh, it's going great. Tonight's been a little bit of a chaotic night here, but you had a quiet night for the most part here. Talk us through how your night was.
I feel like all of us who finish up near the front kind of had the same night. Just kept it clean, avoid the wrecks. Yeah, I mean, the old saying, to finish first, you must first finish. So kind of prioritized that. And yeah, I'm just happy I was able to finish where I was.
And we saw you pit under that last yellow coming to the final attempt there. Was it fuel that was the issue, or was that like a strategy call?
Short. I think I put in like 5.1, which under green, like without the additional laps, I would have made it probably by about 2-3 laps, and I had enough for one of the green white checker. I maybe would have been sputtering at the line, but so when the second one came out, I'm like, all right, well, let's just hope for the best. Come in. A couple of us also came in, so it was nice to not be digging my own grave there. And I was more afraid of just being behind a bunch of damaged cars. I didn't really know how many cars were on the lead lap there. I knew we started lapping some cars, but they could have been many laps down. I was pretty lucky to restart where I was. I think I only fell back to 9th. And then, yeah, thrilled to help Mike get the win there. I love that guy. He's had a tough go at these plate tracks, so I'm not going to say he owes me, but maybe he'll go out of his way for me next time.
Well, speaking of going out of your way, do you have anyone you'd like to thank for your podium place tonight?
Oh, for sure. Cody, Brody. We didn't really work together. We were really near each other that much tonight, but always a fun crew to work with. Drivers in the league, again, a fairly good performance tonight. I know that little caution mayhem earlier was a bit unfortunate, and then all those black flags. It's kind of the nature of the beast sometimes. And then new sponsor, Rowdy Energy, came aboard. Big get for Jason. Fired up for him. He puts in so much effort into this, and to have pretty premier brand come on board and support him, it's nice. He works far too hard for us. Then we got the Circle B crew. They're sticking around. Buck Kicker, iFlag, and Midwest Motor Customs. And yeah, I'll be honest, not our best showing tonight, but still fun, entertaining. I hope we can really hunker down next week and put on a better one.
Sounds good. Well, we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time here, Zach.
Guys, take care.
Thank you.
All right, so that was your third place finisher tonight, Zach Bowerman and Nate. We have come to the end of a wild night here at Daytona, and I think the week off coming at the perfect time.
I think so. I think these guys just need a quick little refresh button after the chaos of last week and the chaos that wasn't their fault this week. I think it's time for a good reset, maybe hit the hard reset button and just come at it strong with the new car that we're going to run with here in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, if you remember back to Daytona, that ARCA car was a great car to see race around Daytona. Not a lot of bump drafting is going to be taking place at Talladega next week, but certainly going to be an entertaining night at Talladega in 2 weeks' time. We will go now to the results here for tonight's race. Michael Anthony, Brandon Wilson, Zach Bowerman make up the podium positions. Aaron Tribble and Shyler Brown round out the top 5. All 5 of the top 5 finishers finishing within a tenth of a second of each other. That is unbelievable. Austin Rucker coming home in 6th. Gavin Hibbs comes home tonight in the 7th position. Zeshawn Duera in 8th. Jesse Cottrell comes home in 9th. John LeBombard gets a top 10 finish. Ryan Worley, Mark McFadden, Alex Link, Shane Posey, and James Cato round out the top 15. Cato being the first car not on the lead lap. Cody Smith, Clayton White, Tim Hendry, Greg McConey, and William Rucker round out the top 20.
Cruz Hernandez, we saw him have a really good showing up there at the end. He finished 21st tonight. Connor Trafari, he'll come home in 22nd with Mark Brown behind him in the 23rd position. Nicholas Wing, we saw him get caught up in those early incidents there. He finished 24th tonight. Elijah Ennis just never quite got the ball rolling tonight. He came home in the 25th position. Jeremy Boucher, he came home in 26th with Dan Brazenton. Man, he could not catch a break tonight. He came home in the 27th position. Chris Worrell, he saw him run really strong there at the front. He came home in the 28th position with Brandon Leary in 29th. Brody Smith was another one who ran really strong as well. He came home in 30th with GT Parquet. We saw him hit that inside wall. He came home in the 31st position. Shane Paul and Daniel Falkenham, they're the next two at 32nd and 33rd respectively, with Daniel Falkenham, man, he just had a really tough night. And then Jason Papp, he came home in the 34th position with Nick Kessler and Gene Cato making up the 35th and 36th position. Joe Gautier, he came home 37th, and Adrian Moore and Scott Warren, they round out the field. Scott just could not get off the line there with his engine failure. They came home in 38th and 39th.
So that will do it for us here. Round 4 from the Daytona International Speedway for the newly minted Circle B Diecast Super Speedway Series coming up on ESPN this week. Some questions about tomorrow's eFormula 3.5 Series race at Spa-Francorchamps that might be on tape delay due to the fact that we don't have a producer for tomorrow as of the moment. The now Rowdy Energy Cup Series will start their season at Daytona on Monday night with the duels. Sam Cooper Bennett and I should be in the booth for that. Tuesday night, it'll be the Western States Racing League from North Wilkesboro. And on Wednesday night, it'll be Sim Racers Edge Round 2 from Kentucky. We thank you very much for being a part of tonight's wild evening here from Daytona. We will see you all coming up tomorrow. Have a fantastic evening.
Have a good night, guys.